My name is Terry Shade, right? I'm from the Workers' Rights and Human Rights platform, and today's topic I want to touch on the moral values. Today we as parents don't know how to instill moral values in our children. Today we as parents would rather go carnival in Tobago and jump and flex and whine and wave than to stay home and teach our children moral values. And because we as parents do not teach our children moral values, they're growing up to end up shooting people, robbing people, killing. When they the children reach in school, they're going up in school fights. So much so that a whole set of school children the other day beat up a US citizen, a child who's a US citizen, and now America said that they're going to intervene. They Trinidad and them don't get find out who's the culprits. America going to have to intervene. And I saying the parents should be charged for when their child being disrespectful or when their child end up in school fights in school. Because a lot of people will say, well, no, you could teach a child, but you can't make him go on the path that you want to go. What kind of nonsense you just hear them say? But the scripture say in Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6, it says, teach a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Meaning you could teach a little baby moral values. Moral values is knowing between right and wrong. You could teach a child moral values at a young age, and when they grow up, they will always have the moral values in them. It won't leave them. Now, yes, sometimes you might see a child growing up and they're going to end up being peer pressured from other children and they go astray. But it still goes back down to bad parenting. So let me give an example. Let me say I have a partner, two of his parents, right? Two of his fathers and his parents. I teach my child moral values. So my child going down a righteous path. But because my partner, he's a bad parent, so obviously his child will grow up to be a bad child. Right? And in society today, children is always cling to the wrong things. So my good child now end up getting influenced by the bad child. Most parents will say, well, they could teach a child, but you can't make them go on the path that you want to go, even though you teach them. Yes, that may be true, but it still boils back down to bad parenting. Because if my partner was not a bad parent, his child would not have been able to influence my good child. So yes, I teach my child goodness. My child grew up, but they still end up going on the wrong path because I was peer pressured by another child. So now we have to look at why that child was a bad child. Because the parent was a bad parent. So it still boils back down to bad parenting. And that is what going on in society today, is the parents and them is not instilling moral values in the children. They only studying themselves. They don't have time to study the child. When you have a child, your responsibility is to be miserable. That is your responsibility when you have a child. When you have a child, it's not, well, I could go and party and fete and my child might just grow up and he go be a good person. No. You have to forget your partying. You have to forget your fete. You have to forget everything that you love as a parent to make sure that your child, that you instill moral values in the child. And that will be something miserable, because it's not an easy task, it's a hard task. So you now will end up becoming miserable as a parent. But it's because you love your child, right? Or should I say this way, only a parent that loves their child, they will want to be miserable for the child that they love. Because if you're not miserable for the child that you love, then you will never instill moral values in them. You understand? So the topic of the day again is moral values. Let me instill moral values in our children. Let me forget the partying, the whining, and the jamming. Let me forget that. Let me go back old school how it was. Let me sit down and forget the things that we love as parents and instill moral values in our children. Because that is the onlyest way to prevent school fights. That is the onlyest way. You understand? And those parents and them who not instilling moral values in the children and the children ending up in school fights, they should be charged. And I tell you, the day that the first parent be charged or get locked up in prison, all parents won't want to get locked up in prison. So you know what happen now? The other parents will say, you know what? Because I don't want to go in jail, I will make sure that my child grow up on the righteous path. I will make sure. So that what should happen, right? So again, my name is Terry Shade. I'm from the Workers' Rights and Human Rights Platform.